The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. It's where we all begin. Welcome to Lazy Dog Typewriters.
The Royal Royalite is a typewriter that Alexander Hamilton would rebel against because of its aristocratic name. King George III would definitely love it.
My loyal subjects forever.
And created in 1953 and named the Traveler by the European manufacturer Helzberg, which of course sounds like an alias for another European dynasty, the Habsburgs. To soon be reintroduced typewriter was renamed the Royal Royalite. It was designed to compete with the Royalite Typpa, Hermes Baby, and Smith Corona Skyriter. Okay, you got us. It was the Smith Corona Skyriter. But if Royal gets to name things after itself, why shouldn't Smith? Anyway, the Royalite evolved and created a dynasty, including the Dart, the Companion, and the snazzy black and gold Dorado, the favorite typewriter of conquistadors. The Royalites only came in green and two-tone gray. At Lazy Dog Typewriters, we, the people, demanded the freedom to express ourselves. So we customized our royal family by painting them in a variety of colors. We think King George III would go crazy for them. Here they are.
Howdy folks, Lazy Dog Typewriters here, and we're back with Kevin and Katie and part of our royal family. We thought we'd start you out with a look at a plain vanilla Royal Royalite, and Katie will do the honors. We'll go ahead and take it out of its leatherette case. The overall aspect of this, again, just like the other Royal Custom we looked at earlier, really reminds us of an aquatic animal, and the manta ray jumps out at us. Isn't that right, Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay, so just giving you an overall look at it, the ribbon cover here will remove if you just lift up on it. And this was a change from the original design. The Hallberg had a gull wing, back to again more aquatic animal, but it had a gull wing shape to ribbon covers. And when Royal designed it, they decided to simplify the design and just use a single piece, which still looks very nice. And again, I really like this shape. One of the things we noticed, as we happen to have a large collection of these Royalites, as an aside, is this ribbon cover was modified throughout the design period. You'll see that this one is absolutely straight and has a little L bracket, which slides into these connectors here on the side, making a really nice tight fit. But later on, they changed that design, and there's just a little bit more of an angle at that point. So they are not interchangeable, and we learned that when we were painting them, much to our surprise, as we confused which ribbon cover lid went with which typewriter for a minute, and we couldn't get the ribbon lids to fit smoothly back onto the typewriter. General feature set. You've got a 44 character key set, which does not have a dedicated number 1 or exclamation point. You also do not have a tab. Our margin release on this machine is over here on the left, and I'll give you a better look at the keyboard. So margin release key is here, and your backspace key is here on the right. Your ribbon spools are here. This is your ribbon reverse mechanism. When an eyelet is on the ribbon, it trips and reverses the ribbon automatically. Here is your paper bail. Very similar, easy to lift. Here is your line selector. You've got from 0, which is freewheeling, to 1, 1.5, and 2. Oh, here is your your carriage release lever, which makes your carriage slide. And you will see over here, this little character, this guy here is your carriage lock. So that's how you can lock your carriage for safe storage. Move that over and you'll engage it and it will connect.
Then you gotta put this guy
There we
down.
go. And then you can stow your typewriter by securing your carriage return arm. Moving on for our rest of our Royal story, let's take a look at some of the Royal typewriters which we have customized, and then after that we'll give you a look at some of the competitors to the Royal Royalite that came out, as we know, in 1955 and continued on for a long run before evolving into a number of different Royal products like the Dart, the Dorado, and the Century even, all had the same inner workings. Alright, now here's an overview of some of the typewriters which we have customized. And we'll go ahead and give you a flyby. Here we have the standard gray with a red ribbon cover. Here we have a complete do-over where we have a cream and a very pretty light blue with also a turquoise base plate underneath. Here we have a similar to the previous one, but this is more of a metallic silver and a brilliant red. This is actually a Royal Companion, not a Royalite, so we're sneaking one past you a little bit. The only noticeable difference I have discovered in the Royal Companion to the Royalite is that it doesn't seem to have a paper support, whereas the Royalites do, the Royal Companion does not, and other than that I haven't seen any differences. My daughter's favorite color is represented well. On this typewriter we have pink with a raspberry base plate underneath and a beautiful teal color, which happens to be my wife's favorite color, turquoise I guess, mixed with the original gray and then back to pink. And to celebrate all things pink, isn't that right, Katie?
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't know there was pink ribbon.
we put a pink ribbon in this one. So we'll give you guys a chance to drink that in and soak in the color. And then we'll give you just a quick overview of these colorful machines.
1959 Royal Royalite with custom cream and blue paint job. Blue undercarriage paint. New rubber feet. Thoroughly cleaned and inspected. Custom blue and red ribbon installed. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. That's where we all start with typewriters.
All right, Kevin, thanks much. So just to give you an overview of those rubber feet we're talking about, we'll zoom out a little bit here if we can get this to stand up. When we get these machines, a lot of times the feet are one of the first things to go, right? Your "Oh my aching feet," says the typewriter. And we have replaced these with some nice, really grippy rubber grommets that really do change the touch of the typewriter in ways that you almost wouldn't believe what a difference it can really make. Oftentimes you'll get these machines and they're resting flat on their cases, so when you type on them they have a much worse feel. Now here's an example of one where we've replaced some of them, but these feet are actually fairly rubbery, decent shape. They could possibly be replaced in the future, but for now they're still good. And coming over to this guy, let's see. Yeah, we replaced the feet on this guy as well as these grommets, and it just really makes a difference in how the machine performs. I've heard some people have had challenges with these ultra portables, and the first thing that makes me wonder, kind of like the chronic problem with the Olympia SM3s having squashed washers, is change out your feet. That's the first thing you want to do, is change out your feet. Then, just like with the Brother typewriters and some others we reviewed, Royal Customs I suppose, there are also some rubber bumpers underneath space bars that can be changed out, and that also makes a huge difference in how the feel of the space bar is when you're typing on these machines. But let's be honest, these are ultra portable. These machines were optimized to deliver portability, and they're not going to have the same touch and feel as a massive standard machine or a Olympia SG1, for example. But all in all, it gives you a great experience and just such a really portable process that if you're in for a portable machine, they're really hard to beat. And now for a typing test. Quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog is where we all begin. So as we discussed earlier, it's an ultra portable. It has a smooth touch, but it's not super crisp. It's not super snappy. It's just, okay, it gets the job done, and for a typist like me, that's more than good enough. As Kevin mentioned in his introduction, the Royalite spawned a dynasty because Royal went on and used the same internal machinery from the Royalite in a variety of different machines. So perhaps the first one that they did that with was actually another Royalite, and it was called the Royalite 64. As you can see here when we zoom in a little bit. So the Royalite 64, other than having a slightly different gray paint job, the main difference between a Royalite and a Royalite 64 is the addition of these three little colors right here, red, white, and blue. And that was a big improvement because this is, of course, your ribbon color selector, and that's something that you didn't have in the Royalite or the Companion, and that is the ability to change the ribbon color. And that's a nice feature to have. Here's a shot of the case for the Royalite 64. Now we have a chance to look at a child of the Royalite, and this is the Royal Dorado Deluxe. This machine is essentially like a Royal Future 800, which has been squashed down and to make it into an ultra portable. It has the same rib vent cover here and the same sharp, interesting angles, triangles that the Futura model had, but it's got the same internals as the good old Royalite. And the case for the Dorado Deluxe is the same attaché case, but this time it's in black. When Don Draper was riding the train into work in New York City, if he looked around at the seats next to him, he probably saw a lot of these types of typewriters under those seats. So from left to right, these are the competitors for the Royal Royalite family. We have an Antares Parva. We have a Gossen Tippa in this case, and we have a Hermes Baby, and we have the Smith Corona Skyriter, as Kevin said. No, it's the Skyriter. But these are the machines, the ultra portables that were directly competing with the Royalite. Let's take a look at those guys really briefly. Okay, here we've got a shot of some very portable typewriters. Just for a flyby, far left we have the Antares Parva, which is a very nice little machine. It's probably one of the flattest typewriters you've ever seen. Very, very thin, very, very flat, and an interesting machine. It's maybe a little less common, I think a little less loved than maybe it ought to be. Here we have a Gossen Tippa. Much like the original Hallberg Traveler, upon which the Royalite was based, it has these very nice, not quite gull wing, but we'll call them gull wing ribbon covers, which are just beautiful and gorgeous. This keyboard is interesting too because it has quite literally a pound key and some diacritics and other language keys. I'm not sure what the F and the IJ stand for. Maybe someone out there can let me know. And it also has the first 3/4 I've ever seen on a typewriter. You've seen a half and a quarter, but 3/4 is something of a novelty for me. Here we have the Smith Corona. We've probably beat the Smithiter joke to death, but it's a very good, very rugged machine, the Skyriter. And then we have the Hermes, the Herbie the VW Bug, or as probably properly pronounced, Hermes Baby. And it also has these very pointy, almost ice cream cone-like gull wing ribbon covers. So this is what the Royalite was competing against, and it did very well.
Please subscribe and hit the bell. And leave us comments and like and please share.
Remember, despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well.